the next speaker, so the next guest, we've gone from outer space, we've gone to what's in the near horizon. Now I want to see how can our businesses thrive and make more money today and tomorrow. And I would like to invite Baman Motivala from Salesforce. Please come up on stage. Hey, Baman.
To see you.
Welcome back to Sime. Have a seat.
Thank you.
So,
all right.
So first of all, most people know Salesforce, but you do so many things. Why don't you just sort of tell us a little bit about what Salesforce is today and what are some of your key activities?
Sure. I don't know how many of you know us, but Salesforce is a customer relationship management company. So we make cloud-based software for customer relationship management. And a little bit like AI, customer relationship management is a very broad term, like business, technology, knäckebröd. It's very, very broad and very, very nuanced. So we started in 1999 focusing mainly on Salesforce automation, which is what most people say is CRM. It's I'm a salesperson and I have a tool that helps me understand who my customers are, who the people that work at those companies are, and what I'm trying to sell to them. Since that time, we've broadened what we do into customer service, marketing, integration, analytics, IoT, and now AI, which is one of the latest satsningar we've done, and digital commerce and all sorts of things. So we've gone from a very narrow focus over the last 20 or so years to an extremely broad focus, and AI is now underpinning almost everything we do.
But one of the sort of core things has been helping companies grow their business, and you've grown dramatically yourself using eating your own dog food, so to speak.
Yeah.
30% per year or something like that.
Yep.
So what are some of the key things behind that growth, and how do you use your own technology?
So we definitely use our own technology for everything we do. A little bit too much sometimes. If there are any of my colleagues in the audience, we overdo it with our own technology, but that's actually helped us know what we need to do to help our customers. So our business vision is to help our customers to connect to their customers in completely new and innovative ways. And in order to do that, we have to be able to do it ourselves. And our customer-centric approach has been one of the main things that's driven our growth. And one of the things we do actually with our technology, with both companies that we're trying to bring onto our platform and companies that we already work with, is something we call Salesforce on Salesforce, where we get together and open our own technology and show exactly how do we use CRM technology to drive marketing campaigns, harness leads, manage complex accounts, do digital commerce. And it's usually better than just showing our generic products. That's one of the most givande presentations we have with our customers.
But so we hear about AI, because this is an AI summit. What is AI to you, and how should we think about it?
So I think at Salesforce, we started our AI journey maybe 3 years ago. And I think 3 years ago was also when it started entering the public discourse more and more and more. Mm-hmm. And I think it entered the discourse as AI, and it wasn't categorized in any way. So you would have a discussion about AI, everything from what we just heard from Danica about robotics to drones to these slaughter robots and bots that help with customer service. But now I think what's changing for us is that we see that we're all learning more about it. So now all of us can distinguish between natural language processing and things like that. So we understand it better, and it becomes less scary and more intimidating. Mm. And the thing we focus on is very simple: AI in the workplace. So how can we make AI more relevant to? I think most of us have jobs that we're knowledge-based workers, and how can we make AI work for us as knowledge-based workers?
But a lot of things are AI-based. For instance, if I look at my app to find the best route and whatever, there's a lot of things that I can use as a consumer. Yeah. But if I would ask everybody here, how much AI do they use in their decision making, or how does it drive better business decisions? There would be very few that actually says it has a huge impact. Why is it sort of more in the consumer? Why are the benefits not more in the corporate space?
It's a great question, and it's one that we're trying to manage, because all of us deal or use or benefit from AI as consumers every day. And you gave the perfect examples. It's all around us. We see its value. We also maybe see some threats as individuals, as consumers. But at work, when I sit down in front of my Mac and start doing my sales forecast or trying to make calls to customers, I don't see it. Well, I do at Salesforce now, but I think the majority of us don't feel that AI is making any sweeping changes in the way that we manage collect and process the information that we have to use to do our jobs. And I think the consumer companies, they have companies, if we take the most apparent ones to all of us, Amazon, Google, and Facebook, they've been using it to understand our behavior and drive ad revenue, and they've been doing it really, really well. I think, and they've focused on it as it's their core business idea because it drives ad revenue. But I think at most companies, a lot, and we're going to hear from, I think, 4 CIOs from some of Sweden's leading companies now on how they're using AI. A lot of the AI initiatives have been around strategic initiatives, like very strategic things for creating new products, enhancing existing products, but not so much for the humble guy or woman sitting behind a desk, knacking away. And I think there are a lot of challenges to that. Some of them are that, number one, the technology challenge. So the technology exists, but do the organizations have the people to implement that technology? And the second is the change, right? So when we're dealing with all companies, when they're dealing with their customer processes or their internal processes, they're built a certain way. And a lot of what they're built around is making sure people gather and process data. And if that suddenly changes, then you have to do a huge change management process. Even though the benefits will be there, how people can manage those benefits needs to be managed. And what we're yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, but I was saying that the CIOs or the tech department usually understands these things. But a lot of the people that you will help are sales guys or marketeers, maybe less technology interested. But you were showing me a demo some time ago, if I remember it correctly, you could predict if a salesman is hitting his budget month and ahead if he keeps on working the way he or she's doing right now.
Yep, exactly. So I think from a sales perspective, one of the main tasks that salespeople and sales leaders do at every level is forecasting where they're going to end up. And it's super important. It drives decisions the companies make. It could have impact on their earnings and what they announce. So if they forecast high and come low, and a lot of it today is based on the feeling and a little bit of the data that people have. So it's based on my experience. I look at a certain amount of data and I make judgments on, are we going to win, are we going to lose, and adjust my forecast accordingly. But what AI can do is, if I've been using a CRM system for a certain amount of time, it can, just like the puppy and muffin example, it can very quickly go through masses of historical data and understand how have we done in the past in sales cases that were like this, and make a prediction. The case that you're working on right now, or the sales opportunity you're working on right now, how likely is it to close? So instead of just basing it on my experience, I can get a recommendation or some advice from the artificial intelligence, the algorithm, to predict. And I think this is interesting because we were talking about, I don't see it at work. It'd be interesting to hear what the CIOs come up and say today, but there's been a study that only 4% of enterprise companies, so large companies, have a strategic initiative around AI. And only 20% are thinking of piloting something around AI. So let's say that those numbers are double or even triple. It's still kind of low. And what that means is that, it's not coming into the workplace. So,
but that's a McKinsey study, right?
No, that was an IDC study. But there was actually, Danica showed a slide at the end where she was showing these balls that were showing on a graph, and there were industries on the left, and she said that AI should focus on tasks, not professions, right? And that's from a McKinsey study that's called Harnessing the Power of AI in the Workforce. And the study is about how will and how should AI impact the workforce. And their thesis when they began was that AI will probably not wipe out complete jobs or careers. And we should look at it from a different perspective, not what jobs will be replaced, what tasks can we automate within jobs? So they looked at about 800 jobs, everything from gardener to CEO, and they listed all the tasks that are done in those jobs, and then they categorized them. And she started off with one of the most automatable categories, which is physical, predictable tasks. So anything that a robot can do, because it's physical. I can put a glass screen on an iPhone, or I can screw a bolt into a car. And then all the way to management. So the categories were physically predictable, collecting data, processing data, interacting with people, applying expertise, and managing. And of the 3 categories that are the most automatable, it's those 3 at the far right. But the entire job categories aren't automatable, just certain tasks. And their thesis is that if we can use existing technology, because the artificial intelligence technology exists today, if we can use that technology and apply it to certain tasks, we'll release lots of productivity and lots of business benefit. And that's kind of the foundation of what we think at Salesforce, how we implement and how we drive AI in our product and with our customers.
But if you look at AI, the interest is very high. We see that in the room. We saw that upstairs where it's full, 2,000 people coming here, and the main focus is AI. Still, there's only 20% of large companies that have a strategy, and 4% that have implemented some sort of AI.
Yeah.
So significant AI projects.
And whether
what's stopping us?
So I think at least from our perspective, and also in the study, it's that currently artificial intelligence, the technologies that drive it, aren't so democratized. So you need data scientists; they're quite expensive, and not all companies have the ability, either the money or the ability to attract that kind of talent. It's the most sought after talent in the technology space, and companies like Facebook, Google, and Salesforce, to a certain extent, are gobbling up all of these people, and so that's a challenge. And also understanding what will the business implication be. Just the business implication of implementing this forecasting that we talked about, the value is super high, but in a large organization, the change process for driving it, because suddenly I don't have a lot of people running around gathering and processing data, they're being presented with information. So how will they behave differently? How will the whole chain of an organization with 7,000 salespeople behave differently? And I think, and then there's the societal, everybody, we're all excited about it, but, do we really want to do it? I think those things are making it difficult.
One of the things you did, you hired Einstein.
Yeah. So
what is Einstein?
So since the beginning, Salesforce's guiding principle in terms of product development has been democratization, and it's kind of a heavy word for this, but really it's making advanced technologies easy. Because 30% of our market is small and medium businesses, 30% is the mid-market, and 30% is enterprises. And it doesn't matter where you are, how sophisticated you are, or how much of an IT budget you have, you want the technology you're implementing to be easy. And the approach that we took with AI was to try to democratize it. So a lot of the companies we work with, a lot of the customers we have, the people that implement Salesforce are a combination of IT people, but also sales leaders, marketing leaders, and service leaders. So we have to make AI the algorithm that Max was showing on the screen when he did his keynote on the inspiration stage. Like, that should be not visible to me as a business user trying to make a change or trying to do something. There should be an abstraction layer in between. And what we did a few years ago was we acquired a whole bunch of AI companies for their algorithms, but also for the talent, so the data scientists. We put them together with our developers and said, let's make an AI platform, so a layer within our platform, not a module or one application on the side, but we re-architected the platform that all of our applications are built on, so as AI is one of the bedrocks of it. So whether I'm using the Sales Cloud product that we have, which is for salespeople, or the Marketing Cloud, I have AI or Einstein, we call this layer Einstein, that Einstein can help me with various things.
And you're also, you have been heading up the Nordics, and you're changing roles.
Yeah.
You are now going to work very much with getting entrepreneurs, scale-ups, startups, and others to grow together with you. Could you describe that a little bit, and what are the opportunities for younger companies or in the audience that want to grow?
So over 10 years ago, I think 12 years ago now, Salesforce realized that the platform that we have, we made it very configurable, right? We democratized it, because if I work at Telia or if I work at Electrolux, the way I want to implement CRM is highly different. So our product is very horizontal, but it can be easily customized and configured, either by people who are business analysts or programmers, right? And what we realized was that a lot of companies were not only enhancing the products we gave them, but they were building completely separate applications on our platform because they already had the licenses, right? So as one of the classic examples is that Electronic Arts, which owns DICE in the gaming company, built a recruiting application on our platform because they were in a war for talent to hire game developers. And we realized, wow, if our customers are building things completely outside of standard CRM, maybe there's a market for companies to build on our platform and then resell. So that's what we formed. It's called the App Exchange. It's like the App Store for your iPhone or the Google Store for your Android, where companies can build applications using our technology and then sell them through our marketplace or on their own. A great example is a company called Muscot. It's a Swedish company. They are focused on marketing relationship automation, which is instead of just campaigns, it's for companies that are global and have very complex marketing budgets, marketing planning that have to be global and regional. And they decided, they have this competence, so they know this field. They needed a technology that would be flexible and let them go to market quickly. So they built this application on our platform, and now they're selling it through our marketplace to our largest customers. And so my role now is to find the next ones in this room all over Europe. So I'm responsible for this in Europe, and recruit them onto our platform, help them build, then help them go to market with these solutions, because it helps us broaden our ecosystem and make our platform more pervasive.
We spoke about a lot of risks with Max. Do you see any risks, or is there anything you lose sleep over when it comes to AI?
I think that what he talked, I don't know how many of you were watching his keynote, but he talked about
upstairs,
upstairs, creating an ethical and sort of an advisory board of, it was a combination of business people and researchers to govern and create rules around how AI should develop and progress. And that makes people like me lose less sleep, because I think there's a lot of promise in AI. I see it in what we could do as just knowledge workers in sales, service, and marketing. But there's also a lot of threat. And when I look at my mobile phone and when I look at social media, I find that for me personally, it's become extremely intrusive, right? And I'm not super happy about it. But it's gone so far that it's going to take people, there is kind of a backlash now, sort of against certain elements of social media. And I think it would be good, as he was saying, to govern AI so that doesn't happen. So beforehand, that there's a framework so that it doesn't become intrusive, either in a very apocalyptic way with these slaughter bots, or just simple things like all of us would be even more inundated with ads that we don't care about because AI makes it quicker, and so that I'm worried that it will go too far and will be difficult to turn back, kind of like what's happening now with mobile technology and social media. As great as it is, it would be nice to be able to dial it back. It would be good to learn from that and make sure that the same thing doesn't happen with AI.
And sort of on a more positive note, what are you most excited about?
So I am a sales guy. I've been doing it for over 20 years. And the Einstein forecasting that we have, it makes it, what I see is the benefit in the workplace is extremely high. So I'm sure that the CIOs that are coming up here are going to talk about amazing projects that they're working on. They're using AI to improve their products and create new revenue streams. But I see the simple things that we do. There's tremendous business productivity that can be unlocked if we can apply it. And I see then it would make our jobs more creative, more collaborative, so we could spend more time with customers rather than filling in our forecasts and so on. So that's what I'm excited about.
Thank you very much for sharing, Baman. And you're going to be here if anybody want to connect.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Ola.